Welcome everybody to one of my favorite games. I have a ton of time in this game. I've been playing it for years. It's finally out of early access. And when I say years, I think like 4 years. Um, I'm playing an experimental build. Right now they've released 1.1.01, an experimental build. It's added some new features, and the only way to try them out is actually going through and playing on experimental. If you get it through Steam, there's instructions on how to actually get into experimental. But beware, it could corrupt your save file. That's part of the fun, because sometimes when they take it from experimental to regular for the masses, you'll have weird things happen, like machines aren't accepting material anymore, stuff like that. But this is a good way to kind of get a preview of the new stuff before it actually hits out. So the little screen is different, showing off some of those new features, like the elevator here in the background, these cosmetic turbines in the background. They're just for looks. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff on here. I think these blocks that he's sitting on is one of them. This is what your character looks like. Well, let's show you how to play the game. So here it says this is Grassfields. Now it's one giant map, but you have 4 different starting locations, and every time you start in Grassfields, you're not going to land in the same place. Same for Rocky Desert, Northern Forest, and the Dune Desert. I do not think this is the easiest one to start in. It's probably the most challenging one, in my opinion, because you can get to about mid-tier of the game, and at that point, your resources are so far away, and water is a problem getting to it. At that point, you're gonna outgrow this in probably 10 hours. It will give you a basic understanding of how to play the game, but you will struggle. Resource nodes like this thing right here, that's where you're going to get your resources. They come in 3 qualities: impure, normal, and pure. And the better they are, the more material they give you per minute. There's a bit of math in the game, nothing too crazy. Although after about 50 hours, you're going to feel like you're tearing your hair out pointing at a whiteboard. So I'll start in grass fields, even though I do not like grass fields. You can skip the tier 0, which is the intro of the game. It gives you some base materials and skips all this grinding part at the beginning. Some people will love that. I'll do it just to show you what it looks like. You can go into multiplayer settings. You can have multiplayer in the game. It's hard for somebody like me because I just boss people around. Jim does not like the game at all. He is not a math guy. He's not into it, doesn't like it, and he feels like I'm constantly bossing him around, which I don't understand why that's a bad thing. Advanced game settings, you can go in there and actually, once you start that, you cannot go in and modify it anymore, but you can start things like no resources needed to build things, and how animals behave. They're either passive, unless you hit them, then they'll attack you, or they're just passive 100%. There's all kinds of different things to mess with. I've never done it. I like playing vanilla. There's a large modding community for this game as well. Let's start this. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking. Okay, well, that's still going to happen. Don't forget to like. If you like, anyways.
Separation from main transport complete. Group 8 delivered to Calistian region. All pioneers functional, initiating dispersion. Attention Pioneer, I am Ada, your personal instance of the artificial directory and assistant. Welcome to the Fixit Incorporated Save the Day program. A Fixit Pioneer has 3 core assignments. Construct. All pioneers must follow Fixit guidelines and instructions when constructing any building. Automate. Every pioneer is responsible for setting up and managing efficient pipelines, outposts, and power infrastructure. Explore and exploit. Fix-It selected planets are rich with resources suitable for direct use or further investigation. Stay within your designated. And that is why the world is counting on pioneers like you. Fix-It. Short-term solutions to long-term problems. Initiating planetfall. Atmospheric entry in 3, 2, 1. Beginning aero assist. Drag within acceptable parameters. Descent phase begun. Decelerating. Deploying parachute. Deploying backup parachute. Skipping parachute. Landing phase begun. Activating retropropulsion. Touchdown. Planetfall complete. Drop pod integrity nominal. Omni-situational exploration suit nominal. Pioneer. Acceptable.
Thanks, Ada.
Congratulations. You are the third in your region to survive planetfall. Welcome to Massage 2, AB-B, in the binary system of Akicha. Loading objective-based introduction. Begin onboarding. First contact safety tool supplied due to presence of alien megafauna. Adhere to Fix-It procedure and equip the Fix-It Inc. Xeno Zapper before leaving the drop zone.
Okay. Welcome to the planet. You'll see this big guy flying out here. He'll fly by us later. That's Mr. Bean. He's passive. You can kill him, but be nice. It's Mr. Bean. So on the bottom right corner, you'll see Tab, B for flashlight, and H to put your hands down. It's just giving you basic stuff. Here's our primary defense weapon. We're going to drop it into the hand slot.
Next objective, dismantle the drop pod. Fix-It incorporated as cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste. The drop pod will be recycled to construct the first stage of the habitat and utility base, often referred to as the hub.
Once again, bottom right side, F gives you your key on what all buttons do. This is what it looks like when I'm going to dismantle something. Turns red, shows I'm going to get 10 iron out of it.
Next objective, use the resource scanner to find and collect additional iron to be able to build the hub. If you cannot find iron, be assured scans of the planet have revealed sufficient iron sources.
My apologies. She's going to go right into about that berry.
Potential edible collected. If consumed before authorized as compatible with the human digestive system by Fix-It, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Store this potential resource for later use.
Okay. So now what you end up doing, notice bottom right, there's the V with the little Wi-Fi symbol, what we call it. Right now, all we can look for is iron. So just release B. V is in Victor. That pulse will go out. And we have iron 300 meters, top of the screen I'm looking at. 386, 290. So it's that stuff right there. And it looks like there's some over that way. Come on and do your flyby, buddy. Show the folks what you look like. He is indestructible. People have landed on him, thanks to jetpacks. You can't kill him. And if you build high enough, he will fly directly through your stuff. So he is an unstoppable force. But he's on a set path. He always does the exact same flight. So, WSAD, of course. Now, if you hit C, you can crouch. Now, if you hold shift, run, and hit crouch, you can slide. Now, if you're on a hill like this, you can slide way down the hill. Now, there's also a thing where you can crouch jump, and it'll launch you further and further ahead. I want to come back for these.
Potential edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for Fixit to make an informed decision. Store this potential resource for later use.
Okay. So I'm just collecting this stuff because you'll need it, and it is how you get health back. Health is at the bottom left corner. Oh, I didn't even see that there was limestone over here. Okay. Like I said, I've played this for 4 years. I hate this zone, but for you guys. So here is our first enemy. He is called a hog by the community. He basically rams you. Now, if you do it just right, you can stun him like that. Go off to the side back. Wait for him to come back. And he's down. And no, I'm not perfect at that every time. Trust me. He hits you and you get flung back big time. When there's multiples, they're highly annoying. So he did drop this thing down here, hog remains. Not him, that thing. Ada always has something to say.
Samples of new alien species acquired. Notable features are blunt teeth, suggesting it is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine, suggesting it is proficient at inflicting and receiving blunt force trauma. Preserve the remains for later study.
Okay. So here's iron. This is what your nodes look like. If you look down, not at the piece sticking out of it, but if you look down around it, you'll see this one is normal. Normal and normal. Well, I'm glad y'all are. So these are 3 different locations that we could put miners later on.
Next objective. Use the build gun to construct the hub. Iron is a base component necessary for all near future progress, so ensure you build the hub close to iron sources. Fixit does not pay by the kilometer.
So you'll notice now F in the bottom right hand corner. Well, I'm sorry, Q. Q in the bottom right hand corner. And this pops up. This is your build menu. There will be many subcategories later on as we unlock them. So we have the hub. Now, it's always confusing when you first look at this guy, but just know that little terminal there in the middle, and then the bench right across from it. I can't look at him and point to him because, hello, it's right there. But to my left, there are those 2 arching things coming up. We're going to get electricity out of that later. You can destroy this and then rebuild it, destroy it, move it, rebuild it. You do not have to do what we're about to do. This is only for the tutorial. If I left click, it shows up. You can only have 1, too,
Hub
by the way.
foundation built. The hub terminal and crafting bench are
Who's
only
one
the
that jumped
humble
at me?
beginnings of a successful Fixit pioneer, but essential for the next steps of onboarding. Once finished, the hub will function as your base of operations. Next objective, complete hub upgrade 1.
Okay. So if we hit E, this is your friend, okay? This is how you progress through the game by unlocking more and more upgrades. Trust me, the game has lots of depth. So if we click here, all these phases are locked. We can't even see what's in them yet. But Tier 0, this is the tutorial, like I said. Hub upgrade 1. Click that. This is what we're going to get out of it. A workshop, portable miners. It's going to make our life a little easier. And then another slot for our hand. Right now we just have the Xeno Zapper. That's all we can have. We're going to be able to change. All right. Cost is iron rods. So we can select the milestone and it'll show up in the upper right hand corner. All right. So right now we don't have any rods. That's where the bench comes in. So you go up, hit E. So the iron ore can be made into ingots. Now you don't have to hold down spacebar, just tap it once and it'll go along. You'll notice that this button down here gets redder and redder and redder and redder and redder. It'll slow down a little bit, but it's not worth really worrying about. You could stop it, start it again, stop it. It's not worth it. Just let it go. Try to get away from crafting on the crafting bench as much as possible. You'll see how arduous this is. And yes, I could pause it some, but I'm going to have you watch a bit of this because it is quite demoralizing. The whole game isn't like this. Trust me. This is just teaching you the basics. So you could drag and drop it or just hold shift and left click on it and it throws it in. Upgrade hub. Okay, now we have this frame. We're upgrading.
Hub upgrade 1, storage and frame, completed. Equipment like the portable miner can now be made in the workshop. Congratulations on completing your first milestone, the first of many providing access to new recipes and technologies for the Fix-It mission. Next objective, complete Hub upgrade 2.
Try not to sing We Will Rock You. I know you're thinking, why does that sound familiar? All right. So now we're going to run back over here. More bang, 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 bangy. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create lists off to the right. Maybe something you want to do. I just look back and forth all the time. So if I hit Q again, I can see this equipment shop. It's one of the things we unlocked. Now it needs 6 iron plates, 4 rods. I could just remember that, or you can hit this plus button, and now it shows up over here. So now, when I'm in here, I can say, okay, I've got the rods. I need some plates. And now I've got enough in order to craft that. Or construct that, I should say. But now we want to do miners, okay? Okay, that sounded horrible. We would like portable miners. Don't know if that's any better. So we're going to do this a little bit. We're also going to create that thing over there because running back and forth is going to get on all of our nerves. Okay, I could do 1, 2 more rods. Okay, well, more than 2. Oh, we could do 3. Go ahead and do that. And 3. Okay. So now when we hit tab, so here's our second hand slot. We can drag and drop, and it'll show stuff up here, equipment shortcuts, if anything can go into any of these pieces, so you don't have to experiment. It puts it out there for you. And you don't even have to drag and drop it if you don't want to. You can just hold shift and left click once and it'll throw it over. All right. So if we do that with the portable miners, now you can scroll wheel. In the bottom left hand corner of the screen over here, you can see how there's 2 little nubs and you can just scroll. So here's your portable miner. Whoever made the animation for these little guys did a great job. So wonderful. So, what are they doing? Instead of me having to do this anymore, I can hit E on them, and they're going to pull up 40 a minute. Now this will tap out at 100, so this is not a permanent solution, but this is how it all starts. Now, of course, if this was a pure or an impure, we would get different returns here. Now, if I hit pick up miner, it'll pick this up plus the miner and put him back in my inventory, or I can just hit grab all, which throws all that in. So this is a nice way to get there. I got over 100 without banging away for 40 seconds. That's why I made multiples instead of just one. All right. So now, oh, I didn't even start. I know I've got enough now, but oh yeah, we got this. We can put all of our extras in here. I'll keep the berries. Or not the berries, the pine nut looking things. Okay, here's upgrade 2. I didn't select it as a milestone, but we only need that and that. You can go to select milestones. So this is the rewards we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and hammer that out real quick. Once again, it shows up over here in the corner. So we can do 20 of these and get 20 iron rods. And remember, what's nice too is those guys are over there still mining their little hearts out. Okay, 20, and now we just need 10. Now these take more than one ingot. That's why their number is going up slower than that one. That's a 1-to-1. I think this is 3-to-1. Yeah, you need 3 in order to get 2. Oh, sorry, 3 in order to get 2. You'll see why I don't remember all those numbers later, because it's only for this part. Hold down shift, left click on both, upgrade again. Whoa, all right. We have
Hub upgrade 2, power and shell, completed. The smelter can turn raw ore such as copper and iron into ingots, and the biomass burner generates power when fueled. Fun fact, most of the native flora and fauna is compatible with Fixit technology. Fueling the biomass burner with inappropriate materials will result in deductions or even cancellation of your yearly bonus.
There's no such
Next
thing.
objective, complete Hub Upgrade 3.
Hub upgrade 3, make it a milestone. Now we need this wiring here. Now, what did we unlock on 2? A smelter, which we can't use yet because we need power lines. Copper ingot recipe, but we need copper to do that. Wire and cable. Now, scannable resource, copper ore. See that symbol? It's the Wi-Fi symbol again, right? So, we're going to do the same thing. I am going to take pity on you. Yes, see, I'm nice sometimes. Don't listen to everything Jim says. And I'm going to make this all 361 ingots. And then I'm going to create a lot of rods and a lot of iron plates. But it's going to go by quicker than you think. Okay. So, as usual, I went a little overboard. Welcome back. Now, you don't have to do what I just did, which is just make a ton of them. What I would probably tell you to do is maybe do 40 of each and you'd be fine. And the reason why is I know you're going to have to do this. You could just make some miners. We can do that real quick so we don't have to build one of these wherever the copper is. So I can make 43 of them. I don't need that many. We're good. I'll make probably 3. 1 would be fine. It's just going to be slower for you. And there is no timer on this game. You can do this at your pace. That's one thing I love about the game is it's self-paced. You don't have to go crazy. I do things quick. Trust me, if you start off the first time, you won't be quick. Now, you can't bring this with you, of course. Now, you can bring that, or build another one, I should say. But remember, you're going to need 3 plates, 3 rods. So when you go somewhere else to do something, yes, I did grab some iron ore it's not made into rods or anything else, but it doesn't do me a lot of good unless I have the materials to make that. So I always, whenever I'm going to go out and explore anywhere, I always have a large quantity of rods and plates. 1 stack of each. Mr. Bean, you just scared the jeez out of me. Okay, so if we hold down V now, there's iron ore here. Now copper's at the bottom. We're going to have all kinds of stuff around this thing by the end game. Release on copper. Like I said, I've played this game before. I know there's copper right up there. There's also copper over there. Copper that way. You can see at the top of the screen. So 129 meters. So problem is getting up that cliff. Fortunately, I know that I can jump here. Whoa. Get out of my way so people can see. Okay. So, just scaled that, no big deal. There's another hog. Let's go ahead and kill him real quick. Let's see if I can do this so expertly. That wasn't too bad. Come on, buddy. One more pass. Olay. All right. Hey, he's back. So my very first playthrough, this was actually where I did all my stuff. Look, 2 impure nodes. It was slow, but one thing I guess you could say about this area is because everything's normal and impure. I don't know if there's any pure nodes. All your manufacturing is going to be small as far as how many smelters and stuff. We'll get there. Okay. So sometimes you'll see just these big hunks of ore sitting out on top of the ground. Notice there's no circular thing around it. This is Caterium. So it's something new. What's funny is, I guess it's not always Caterium. Who knows what it's going to be for you. So if I hit E, Ada's going to have something to say because this is a new thing. Remember, we have only had iron so far. We haven't even picked up copper yet. So what's Caterium? This is one way to find out.
Unknown metal collected. This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11 on the periodic table, such as high conductivity and malleability. Store this potential resource for later use.
Excuse me, Mr. Bean. Like I said, he's passive. If I could jump up high enough, I can actually bounce off his back. He's just a big old softy. Okay. Once again, now if I just tap V, it'll highlight the last thing. There's the copper right there. I was down there and I walked up this way. No, I'm turning back around. If I tap it, it'll do the last thing that I scanned for, which is the copper. Let's see if I can. You'll notice we always run into the hogs around these nodes. Why is that? I don't know. Hey, buddy, come on. So when you see a node, always expect some kind of... Oh, man, I only got 1 hit. Man, I click. Oh, I missed you on the 3rd. Come on, buddy. Olay. All right. Yeah, I do not get that right every time. And don't worry, they're not the only enemies. There are other enemies. So here's our copper. It's a normal copper node. I'm going to stop. The vistas here sometimes are just gorgeous. They've done a wonderful thing with the lighting. Sometimes they'll actually have eclipses to where suddenly the whole area just goes dark and there's an eclipse. Might be one now. That'd be kind of cool. They're very rare. I'll mine this off to the side so we can watch. Are you moving at all? That's moving up. Do your thing, boys. Now, I don't want to keep coming back up here all the time. So, once again, hit Q. I would definitely recommend putting a crafting bench up here. That way, you can at least get some stuff made if you need to. You don't have to go, oh no, I forgot. I need to craft iron rods, but I've got iron on me. Well, that doesn't do me any good unless I run down there to that or that. Well, now we're set because this will be here. By the way, you saw me sample something earlier. Any structure like this, if you just push down on the scroll wheel, so what is that? Mouse click 3. It'll copy, and then you can just create it again. So you don't, if I right click, you don't have to go in here and click on it. So when you're running around doing things, you can sample something real quick that way. Incoming. It's close to the rings, but I think it'll miss. So weird. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I am going to fill up my inventory with these 3 guys. Well, not fill it up. I want at least a couple hundred. Or, looks like I got it, 220. There is fall damage in the game. I'll demonstrate here. Whee! The hand's waving as a clue you're about to take damage. Whenever he's like, ooh. So, I've taken damage down there. I can, well, have a limited amount of those. Let's do these berries, these nuts. So, notice the health bar. I will regenerate slowly over time, but if I left click, I'll consume some. Now, if you do the berries instead, it's a bigger chunk. It's a full bar, if you will. So I won't do another one. These guys are more plentiful right now. All right. So we can go in here and craft some more. All right. And welcome back. You are welcome for that. So I could go ahead and complete this now. I have all the material, but before I do that, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Like I said, there is a pacing in the game, which is fine. We never did play with this, did we? And if you jump into the next section too fast, you'll have no idea what this does. So here we have no fuel. This icon will tell you what actually burns in here and at what rate. So you'll notice that the wood, if I put that in there, one wood will actually last quite a bit longer than for sure the leaves or mycelia, which we haven't even found yet. We'll find that later on. So now, of course, I've got a lot more leaves than I do wood. And it even tells you how much energy that each one has. Now I think you can throw stuff like this in there, but I don't want to waste that. We can use that for another. Wait, why do I only have 2? Oh, I put 1 inside that storage. So for now, let's do leaves because it's plentiful. Now it's not going to start right now because it doesn't have anything. No connection, nothing connected to it. Now, what else did we unlock earlier? Well, we unlocked, we hit Q, production lines. We have a smelter. We can put this down. Ignore the in and out for now. But if we hit Q and go to power, we have a power line. Well, how do you get electricity from one to the other? With a power line. But you'll notice it's also down here on my hotbar. you can hover over something and just, if I hit 1, it'll throw it to 1. If I hit 4, it'll throw it to 4. So you can create shortcuts, and then if you hold down left control and scroll wheel. Is it Alt? Oh, sorry, it's Alt. Left Alt. You can scroll wheel through 10 of them. And there's even emotes. All right. So once again, Q. We'll take that off of 1. I don't use them that often. So if I hit 2, here we go. We need to get power from there. Left click and get it to there. See the power line? Left click. All right. So it's got electricity. Bio is doing his bio. All right. But we haven't done anything with him yet. So if I do copper, I can throw in full thing of copper, and it's going to create those by itself. I don't have to be here. I can walk away, and it's just going to produce, which is nice. Very nice. Later on, that lovely, lovely smoke in the air is going to be all over the place. The animation here is pretty neat, too. I enjoy that. Now, later on, we'll be able to get standalone versions of this guy. This one is a special case. There's going to be 2. But he only produces 20 megawatts. This is how to read all this. He produces 20 megawatts of electricity. And this table here is your consumption. He was doing nothing. He was only consuming 0.1 in a standby mode, really. But now he's producing 20, which is this gray line up here. Okay, that's his capacity, because he does 20 megawatts. Now the machine we just put on, he needs 4 megawatts in order to run. We can actually see that if we go Q and go into production. You'll see that here on the side, 4 megawatts. And this is what it costs in order to build one. You can also click on him. Later on, we're going to get information panes down here that will also tell us. But here you can also see it needs 4 megawatts. Now the buildings statically use only the power. It doesn't matter the recipe, and that's all there is to it. Once again, you can click and drop, or you can hold left click or left shift and left click once, and it'll auto fill up whatever you need. There's also a sort button down here if you want to reorganize. And then, of course, you're getting low, left click, click, let that chug a couple of times. One more. Boom, boom. So he'll max out at 100 too. So if I filled this with 100 and he already had 50, he would only go down to 50, because that would get to 100 and he's clogged up, right? So he's stopped up. All right, so that's how all that fun stuff works. And I guess I did it off camera. I apologize. But ingots, 1 ingot makes 2 wires. And then 2 wires make 1 cable. That's how everything is produced. So while those guys are doing their thing, we'll interact here. Once again. So now we're going to get a constructor, a power pole, which will allow us to hook up more than 1 device. Concrete screws, reinforced iron plates, and limestone. Boy, we're going to fly right along. So let's go ahead and throw this stuff in. And of course, our hub is going to look different as well. And Ada has something to say.
Hub Upgrade 3, Interior Furnishing, completed. The constructor can produce simple parts, and power poles allow for the expansion of the power grid. When you make the inevitable mistake, Fixit's dismantling feature is designed to salvage all resources used during construction, in line with our zero waste policy. We understand that Fixit pioneers are only human, and thus prone to error. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 4.
Okay. So let's grab that new milestone before I get too excited. Upgrade 4. Conveyor belts, inventory slots. Look at all that fun stuff we're doing here. You know what? Let's go ahead and throw stuff in there. So he is just chugging along. All right. I'll do this little bit here. See, now we have screws, ingots to rods, and then rods to make screws. And then this one is the bane of early game's existence. He uses plates plus screws, quite a few of them I might add, quite a few plates, in order to make one reinforced iron plate. Yeah. So down here under wire, once again, like I said, copper to make these guys. Resort that. It's just trying to combine stacks and make it to where it doesn't have big holes in your inventory is all I'm doing. Sort it again. And then cable, you can do this in order to create more cable. Once again, this is what we use to run power lines itself. The wiring is for machines mainly. Okay, guess what we need? We need some more friends. More portable miners. Did I hear that thing shut down? Okay, so later on you'll realize this, but see this lovely little light right here on the corner? So that tells you whenever everything is doing great, he's got fuel and he's chugging right along, so he's green. He's stopped for some reason, so he's got a yellow light. So if we go and take a look at him, he ran out of material. So we're going to pull over the copper ore. Now we're out of copper. That's no problem. We'll go back to select recipe. I do have some iron though. And now he'll sit there and do the same thing. So now we've got a green light, not to mention the smoke's back. Chugging right along, chugging right along. All right. So now that we have new friends, I'm going to drop these boys. It's impure. There's a normal one over there, but I don't want to run back and forth a bunch with y'all. Because I couldn't pause it. Now, why does that matter? Why does it matter that this is impure and that's normal? Remember, the normal nodes over there, they grabbed 40 a minute, right? Let's look at what impure does. They only get 20 a minute. So it's a lot slower, okay? That's where it's going to matter right now. Later on, it won't be so bad. There are ways to speed up production, and I'll show you that. In the meantime, grab some from him. So I'm putting down multiple, so I can just grab very quickly a big stack for you guys. Make it not so arduous to watch. Okay. Oh, gotta jump to get in that one. Okay. Anything different in here? Oh, so they added this with 1.0, and now you can go in and actually change your character's appearance. Big head mode. Fast boy. And then the golden. This is just for people that were back in early access. So I always throw on the golden stuff. Different colors for all the guns. Golden. All right. Then we close. See the golden build gun. try the DL one out. That one looked kind of cool. Yeah, I'm pretty toxic. Jim can attest. See a little toxic? Whee! Check out the neon color scheme. That's pretty neat. I like that. All right. So, Squirrel. All right. We have limestone. What are we going to do with limestone? Well, we can make concrete. Now, you might say, well, why don't you put a smelter over there and smelt it? Can't smelt concrete. We'll do that with a constructor. That's the next step. So let's make sure we're not flying past stuff too quick. So we do have a constructor. Okay. So I'll show you what a constructor does. Hit Q, constructor. Ooh, look at that. We need plates. I saw a shadow on the ground. See? All right. Sorry. Easily amused. So we're going to make some reinforced metal plates. That's really all I need was the two. And then I can make a constructor. All right. Now the constructor has got multiple recipes, as you can see. So once again, you're going to need, and you can see down here, you'll need ingots in order to create the rods. So 15 a minute, and he'll make 15 rods a minute if he has power. So here we have concrete. So what we can do is throw some limestone in here. Let's find us 100 limestone. But he needs power, doesn't he? So how do we get power from here over to here? Well, now that we have the option, you can go down here and you have a power pole. So you'll notice I put it in hotbar slot number 1. Now, I could just slap this here, delete this, redo this to the pole, then to the pole, to the... You could do that, but they have a different way that you could also do this that isn't easily recognizable at first glance. So, the rod is like that. If I select the power pole and look at the wire, I can connect the power pole to this, but it's not down yet. It's because I can drag it. Okay. So now I can expand my power infrastructure a little bit easier that way. Now, why are power poles important? It's because he only has one connection point. He only has one connection point, but the power pole has 4. So we're already using 2. And now if I click there, and you can go a long way with these wires, and I can connect it to him. And now he's making our new concrete. So here, it'll just slowly chunk that stuff out, which is nice. So like I said, you'll want to get away from the bench as fast as possible, and this is part of it. There is going to be times where you're just going to go, let me get it to a bench and craft it myself because I didn't build that yet. And that is going to happen. And you can fly through the upgrades that way, but you're shooting yourself in the foot. Just trust me on that. So if I click on E on the power pole, just like on power generator, I can see this. Now remember that one over there was 4. The smelter was 4 megawatts. The constructor's 4 megawatts. Now we have a maximum, if both of them were working, of 8. But we don't have that, right? Because the 1 is off. So it's only using 0.1. But our capacity for that one processor is 20. And don't get violent. Later on, you will be really upset with that power distribution. Trust me. So let's go ahead and continue to the next stage.
Hub Upgrade 4, Landing Platform and Utilities, completed. Conveyor belts connect the output of one building to the input of another and transport resources. Due to past incidents, I have been asked to issue a clarification. Portable miners, obviously, do not have a connection for conveyor belts. There is nothing to suggest, visually or functionally, that they can be connected to portable miners. If this is something you struggle with, do not worry. Fixit has alternative uses for all their pioneers. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 5.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is run a smelter to a constructor. So let's make our rods real quick. Or sorry, reinforced plates. Just to get an idea of what's going on. Now there are visual cues. See how that points that direction. And this is the N. Remember your warning signs. So what we can do now is production, construction, constructor. Now the red and the green. Notice one is going into the machine, the other one is going out. Now if you hold left control, and I'm sure it's left control this time, you'll notice those lines appear. It'll lock it into place. Or, I mean, not totally into place. But you can left and right, and it's easier to line it up. Like this is without left control. It's difficult to find where the sweet spot is. There it is there. But it's a lot finickier in order to find it. If you hold left control, it just auto throws it down. So I'm not going to put it real far away, but I also don't want it super duper close. But I'm going to left click. And then you'll notice down in my hotbar, they've conveniently thrown the conveyor belts to number 3. Now this is important. Under logistics, our new item here, conveyor belts are here. Now this is what's important. Transports up to 60 resources per minute. So that is going to be your bottleneck for the beginning of the game. In this area, it's not that big of a deal. If you were in an area with pure nodes, you would get 120 resources a minute, but you're only using Mark 1 belts. You're only getting 60 a minute. I don't care what it pumps out. Because of that, this is your bottleneck. This game is a lot about finding bottlenecks. Anyways, if I hit 3, I can, you see there's the magic belt. Left click, and boy, you can go anywhere you want with this thing. But to make life simple, we'll just look at this one. Left click again, and it builds. Yes, you can ride the conveyor belts. I know you wanted to know. No, I wanted to know. Now another thing. Right now I'm using the power wire, and the game's smart enough to know I've clicked. You don't have to click there either. You just click on the machine, and it knows if I'm going to a pole, I'm going to a pole. If I'm going here, I can click here and actually throw that down. So now I have another pole. Because remember, this only has so many connections. So, of course, this stopped. Why did it stop? Well, we haven't selected a recipe, right? So, we can do, since we're giving it ingots, we can do plates or rods. Which one should we do? Well, let's look. We have enough rods. We have enough plate. Well, we have less plates than we do rods. So let's go ahead and do iron plates. So it's going to slowly fill up. Once again, 60 is greater than or equal to this. So we're fine there. It's actually going to fill it up faster than it can pump out. But it's going to clog up here because we don't have anywhere to put it just yet. I'm going to go ahead and grab a stack of that. Because remember, these are 3 to 2 rods. So there he can make stuff. Now, of course, now we have 4 plus 4 plus 4 over there. So that's 12. So if we go in here, maximum consumption is 12. We're never going to go over our maximum consumption of 20 megawatt capacity, as long as we don't run out of fuel anyways. We're getting close. All right. I will spare you some more bang, bang, banging. But now you know the basics of all of that. I shall return. And welcome back again. Now let's finish this one up. I ran over and grabbed some concrete.
Hub Upgrade 5, Power Expansion, completed. The miner, unlike portable miners, can be connected to conveyor belts and requires power to function. Caution: as you expand, the energy demand of your production may exceed the capacity of your power grid.
For sure.
The onboarding program was established because Fix-It pioneers often experience memory issues after planetfall. If you are experiencing nosebleeds, nausea, existentialism, or an itchy scalp, there is no need for concern. This should pass within 5 to 7 workdays. Next objective: complete Hub Upgrade 6.
That is the bane of your existence as a pioneer. It ran out of fuel. That, you will hear that anywhere. If I was on the far side of the map and this grid went down, I would hear it. Thank God. Although it is very demoralizing when you're like, where the hell was that? So yeah, that's a whole different problem. Okay. Hub Upgrade 5, Mark 1, Miner Mark 1, storage container, 3 inventory slots. We got that. All right. So here, space elevator, biomass burner, and inventory slots. The biomass is definitely a game changer, and you want that ASAP. Now for the miner. Okay. We are going to... By the way, so as I destroy stuff, you'll notice that I get the ingots, I get the plates, the material that it used to make these things. You really can't destroy stuff in the game. You just get it right back to your inventory. If your inventory is full, it'll form a little treasure chest on the ground. All right. So now, if we go to production and miner. So, it needs 1 portable miner, concrete, and plates. So let's get these guys off of here real quick. I'm going to pick them up. Because remember, I need 1 of them in order to make the miner or the miner in the first place. So, miner. There's only 1 out on this guy. We're going to point it away from the hub out toward a clear area for now. My apologies. Do that to where you can enjoy that. There. Very impressive looking. Okay, and yes, you can climb the ladder. All right. So, he needs electricity, of course. So, power to that. Always remember how many you got here. And so that's 2 of 4. So now if we go up and look at this miner, we're going to notice some more information here. We're going to notice how much power he uses, 5 megawatts. Every second he's going to churn something out. Or every second he needs 5 megawatts. Now, this is a normal node. He's going to produce 60 a minute. That's already an improvement over the portable miners, but you can only have 1 miner on a node. So, technically, if you want to do everything by hand, it'd be quicker, but no one's that sadistic. So, what he will do is start churning out all kinds of fun stuff. So, we're going to go ahead and throw wood into here. Now, you can see this breaker, the fuse pops, so you got to reset the breaker. All right. You can do that here, or you can do that at any power pole, anywhere. Okay. So you don't have to run all the way back to your stuff. In fact, if you're in the middle of somewhere like way up on a ridge, remember you can just do, let's say that power pole was like out of my reach, low. Let's say this miner was way up there. Instead of jumping all the way down there, I could just do what I just did there and put one up there by me, and then I could modify it and retrip the breaker. All right. So he's going to start. Very cool animations. I mean, they really outdid themselves on these. Always, always, always. Okay, so now need a smelter in order to smelt all this fun stuff. Oh no, we need wiring. Ah, humbug. This is constant in the game. Chug, 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 chug. Smelter. Alright. I'm going to make this simple at first. From there to there. Now you might say, but that's coming out at 60 and he only needs 30. Isn't that a waste? And you are correct. We'll get there. We'll get there. So we need power. Gonna go ahead and throw it back to this one since it's not going to be utilized anymore. And then we'll need a constructor. And then we're running low on rods, so we'll do rods. There. Now he's chugging away. Now what else did we get? Ah, organization. You'll notice we have a thing called storage container. Once again, out and ends. Boom, boom. And now, there go our rods. Going into our lovely storage container. And it will do that as long as we have electricity. Alright, let's go back in here. I forgot to select that. We don't have enough copper wiring. We have enough of that. Don't have enough concrete, but I'm sure we do. Yeah, we do have enough copper. I know, buddy, I know. Not happy because we ran out of power. So, please hold. Okay. In case you're curious, all I'm doing is walking up to one bush, holding down E, and then running around like a lunatic, grabbing all this fuel that I can. So I went down and around this area. That's why it's all cleared along this wall face over here. Alright, so now should have sort. I might have overdone it. Quite a bit, quite a bit. That's okay. And I know, I haven't got him involved yet, but I don't need the power just yet. So it'd be a waste. He would just sit there and eat up all the extra. The nice thing about the game is you can really get stuff up high. So one thing that I'm short on right now is copper wiring. And yes, Do I want to? What's my consumption? If I do, I'm definitely going to need that extra one. With all machines on, it's taking 17. And they are all on because they're constantly working. But my capacity is only 20. A miner is 5, I believe. Production, 5 megawatts. So it definitely tripped the circuit if I did that. So I'll come back. This is the problem. Is you end up going, oh, I'll come back and do that later. And what ends up happening is you come back later and you're back doing the exact same thing I was about to do. Have to make all this stuff by hand. That's the main issue. Now, I'm not going to get real pretty at this stage of the game because I don't have a lot of upgrades. And basically what's going to happen is you're just going to rip stuff down. So once again, in this case, for this production line is that to that. And then to constructor. Oh, I don't have it. See? That's why you bring stuff with you. It's probably screws that I'm missing. Oh no, must be plates. Take a look. Yeah, it's plates. So I just need 2 plates. Okay, 2 plates. And now I can make the constructor. Belt. More plates. What did I say about having a big stack of stuff? Dude, the ambient noises in here are bananas. Okay. And you don't have to go in to out. You can go out to in. Build it backwards. Doesn't matter. For these, it doesn't care. And then organization. Mods. And yes, I am fully aware that there is cable that I can make as well. We'll come back. Don't forget to set up your production line. We're going to do that. Just going to go there. Just going to go to here. I know I haven't connected it there yet, have I? Oh, what am I doing? I'm being sneaky. Connect to there, connect to there. And then, you know what? I'm going to delete you. Get it closer to this ledge to where I can definitely see it down there. And I can connect that one to this one. Easy enough. Or better, I could just do that. And why am I doing that? It's because if I connect all that stuff to this, it's going to drop, right? Because I only have a 20 megawatt capacity. So we're going to make another rod, another pole. And now we need to add fuel to him, because otherwise he ain't giving us 20, is he? Add it. And now all that stuff up there is going to start. Oh, wait. No, it's not, because I need to connect these 2 wires. Hence what I was talking about before. So there to here. And now that's going to start. Now, was that necessary? No, it was not necessary. I could have let it trip the breaker, come down here, and this line would have died for a split second. That's already plugged up, which doesn't need to be plugged up anymore. I can make that a line as well, can't I? So that all up there is working. And I know it's working because I can look at this and it's going to be well over 20 megabytes, right? See, now our maximum consumption is 30. Now this is because machines are starting and stopping is what's going on. Don't worry about all that. This is your maximum, and you never want your consumption line to touch that maximum. If you do, break a trip. That's what's going on. And I apologize. I know this is a long one. But I wanted to get all the way through all of this. Stand by. Alright, welcome back. Got all the materials, I believe, to finish this up. Go. New
Hub
buildings.
upgrade 6. Landing platform hydraulics completed. Freighter landing initialized. Congratulations, you have completed onboarding and achieved the absolute minimum skill level required of a Fix-It pioneer. Fix-It looks forward to your future achievements, because a future with Fix-It is a future with you. Tier 1 and 2 milestones are now available in the hub, and biomass burners can now be built individually. Your first official objective is to initiate project assembly by building the space elevator. This objective will take a significant amount of resources, so Fix-It recommends getting to work.
Definitely. So once again, just like up there, for that line, I need to do the same for this. Once again, picking up these 4, but this time we only need him, and that's it. But I might be able to throw everything together real fast. Get rid of that. I can get rid of that. Production, like I said, if you don't do this, it will grind to a halt. Just like that. What caused that? They had to have run out of power on one of them. Number 1? Yeah, number 1 ran out of power. Okay. Let me look at one thing real fast. Okay, so we have this now, which is biomass. Basically what it does is allows you to put a lot more in to your devices. So it's 10 leaves become 180 megajoules. So one leaf is 150, but through the magic of combining, you get an extra 30 out of it. So you want to do this. They're really quick to do anyways. And then same with the wood. Next episode, I'll show you what I lovingly call the machine. It's what I build so I don't have to constantly do this. This is time consuming. Not what... Mr. Bean, bro, don't give me that look. You scared the hell out of me. I was like, what the hell just stepped up behind me? Yeah, buddy. You do you, man. Whoa. Okay. So you want to take that out, put in that and that. So once again, you'll see 6.67 per minute compared to 80 per minute. I mean, it's a major improvement. It really is. So there. They're going to go for quite a while. I'm going to go ahead and move this. Yeah, buddy. Don't worry. And he can't destroy any of your stuff. He'll walk through power wires. Sometimes he gets stuck on conveyor belts and that kind of fun shenanigans, but that's about it. Organization. Buddy plates. Always needing something. So what should I do? I should go over to one of the other two and make a line for just plates, shouldn't I? Yes, I should. So here we need to tell him we want to make concrete. Storage. Keep kind of close because this uses plates too. Yeah, I had one to spare. There's our concrete. You can pull it off of the bag or the belt like that if you want to as well. All right, everybody. That was a lengthy episode. I know that was a lot of information, but you can see, just go nice and slow. There's no rush. Get used to the game. But of course, I'll show you what Tier 2 or Tier 1 have to offer. So Tier 1, and you do not have to do any of these in order. You could jump straight here and go do this as long as you can create the material. So Tier 1, yeah, I should be teasing you and making you tune in for episode 2. Base building. A lookout tower, which is pretty useless if you ask me, but it's in the game. It's basically just a long ladder that you can climb up and go up to the top and view. It's not that tall, and you can't make it any taller, but if you want somewhere to lord over your stuff, there you go. Foundations. This makes building a base, these are essential to building a base. This is one of the first things that I grab up. Logistics. A conveyor splitter, so you can split a single conveyor 2 or 3 times, which means you get to divide by 2 or 3. A merger means you get to merge multiple belts down to 1, 2 to 3 to 1. And then a conveyor lift, which I won't use too much here at the beginning, but if you're going to a separate floor and you need an elevation change, that's what that's for. Building efficiency stats. This will tell you how efficient they are. It comes in later, you'll see. Field research. This is a map. You can get your map. Object scanner. You can make the personal store box. It's the box off to my left. You can just build it anywhere. 3 inventory slots. These are kind of useless. I really don't use them. I just build containers and I can shove a whole bunch of stuff in there. And then the MAM. This is going to unlock stuff for us as well, just like this. Tier 2, part assembly. We have an assembler, copper sheets, rotors, modular frames, smart plating, a chainsaw, different set of biofuel. I typically jump to this one really fast just to grab this biofuel, then chop down stuff really fast, and then I'll build the machine. I'll do that next episode for everybody. Jump pads, they have their place. Vastly useless. I'll play with them just to show you what they do, but they're interesting and you can have a little fun with them. This is just jelly you land in, but if it doesn't have power, the jelly goes away. Electro jelly? I don't know. And then resource sink bonuses. This is what you do with extra material. I'll show you what that does. And then we have logistics Mark II. Hey, look, it does on the right hand side over here 120 resources per minute for the Mark II belt and the Mark II lifter. So that's how you're going to be able to get more and more stuff, and that's going to fix that bottleneck. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully everybody likes it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Know that I'm doing a good job. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'll try not to make the others exorbitantly long, but I'll at least try and get to coal power. I can get to coal power in probably about 3, maybe 4 hours. I'm not standing around talking like I am. This has been an hour and 20 minutes, but there's explaining stuff does take a little bit of time. I apologize if I jerked really fast while I'm running around and stuff. I try not to make people motion sick, but I played the game for a long time, so I'm naturally very quick. Ooh, what's in there? That I'll make you wait for the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.